Hi, this is MA Pro Recording with me, Tom Saboya. Today I would like to show you how to use a cassette tape deck to do some very nice production tricks. Here's a beat and we're gonna use it as our example to do some nice processing with tape. Okay, so you heard the beat. Now I'm gonna do some routing here. So we have the first track, which is our original loop, and now I'm gonna do some routing so I can send the signal to the tape deck, and the tape deck is gonna receive the audio, and I'm gonna re-record the audio back to the DAW, and I'm gonna do some different things. So if you look here on the level, input level in the tape deck, there's nothing coming in. So here in the DAW, I created a send that sends the signal to the tape deck. And now I have some signal reaching the tape deck. Now let's put a tape, a cassette tape on it. I'm gonna rewind it and I'm gonna put a record enable and it's ready to record. Now on this first example, we're gonna use the tape deck circuit, which is an analog circuit, to give some character to the sound. The idea is to send the signal very hot and go through this analog circuit and bring some distortion to it. So I'm going to increase the output gain from the DAW going to the input of the tape deck. So I put the max I can go before it clips the converter. And now on the tape deck itself, I'm going to increase even more the gain. It's an analog circuit, so I can go a little further. And that's going to give some saturation to the sound. Now I'm going to record enable the return track, which is going to receive the audio coming out of the tape deck. Okay, the input level is a little bit loud. Let me bring it down a little bit. Now I'm gonna go into my interface input and I'm gonna adjust the input gain so we have a good signal but just before it clips. Okay, I think now the gain is well adjusted. Now let's record the loop on the track below. Cool, now we have the tape deck return, all recorded, and now let's compare both. The tape deck return is louder because the level was hot. Now we're gonna attenuate the output level in a way that they're on the same volume as the original track, and that's the best way to compare the quality and the difference between one track and the other. now you can notice that there's more excitement on the track that went through the circuit, because the analog circuit brings some distortion and some compression to the track in a way that is very pleasing as far as the way it sounds. And that's just the circuit. Now let's do the same, but now going through the actual tape. So we're gonna record the audio to the tape and then compare it. I'm gonna adjust again the input gain. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit, because now that we're gonna record to the tape, we don't want to be too hot on the tape in a way that we're gonna hear the saturation, but we don't overdo it. Okay, now we have the tape here. Gonna rewind, put it to record, and let's do it. Okay, now that we recorded to the tape, I'm gonna rewind it, I'm gonna play it, and as I play it, I'm gonna re-record back to the DAW. I need to adjust the input gain because the tape reduces the gain, so I'm gonna bring it up a little bit, and there we go. This is the actual sound of the beat printed to the tape. One thing it's important to understand is that the tape machine has a motor inside. So this motor is not like a digital computer, which has a very steady clock. That means that the recording after going through the tape is not gonna be in perfect sync with the original recording. So when we play both tracks, trying to align one to the other, there's gonna be some drift, meaning that they're not gonna be in perfect sync. And that's how we create a very interesting effect known as flanger. Take a listen. That's very cool, huh? Now comparing both, you will hear that the tape has a warm sound. Has some nice distortion to it. A great thing about the tape is that it cleans the high end in a way that is pleasant. So sometimes you have a very harsh, the hi-hats and all that, and the tape rounds up everything nicely. It is also easy to hear how the bass drum has a more round sound. Now if you look here on the graphics, it's easy to see how the tape drifts away from the and if you look here, you can see how the tape actually is lower because it starts before the kick and then ends after the kick. Now Playing both together, we have that nice, very nice flanger effect. So I'm gonna create a short loop just where the effect is more extreme, and then I can use that for music. Now going a little further, I can filter the low end of the loop of one of the channels, so the flanger actually happens only on the higher frequency range and leaves the kick drum untouched. And this is how we use a regular cassette tape deck to create a very nice flanger effect and also give some character to your music. Stay tuned for new videos coming up soon. Thank you.